Hey babes, hello, hello, hello. So I am 1 hour and 50 minutes into Gypsy Rose's interrogation. I'm watching it from Flawless Nina's channel. Um, I got 3 minutes from this part, so I got to 1 hour and 53 minutes. And, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to let you watch it first, and then we're going to talk about it. Hold on, I actually have a earpiece in. So, let me take that out. Hold on one moment. Okay, sorry, I forgot that was in my ear. Here we go.
Just because we do bad things doesn't mean that other people don't love us. Doesn't mean that your mom doesn't love you.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this, but please don't think I did it because I did anything to my mom because I didn't. Look, Nick and my mom.
Don't think I did this. As she shakes her head, no, don't think this. Don't think this about me. I don't want you to know this.
They get along very good.
Now she's saying that Nick and her mom don't get along very good. But I don't think it's Nick she's truly talking about. I think she's talking about Dan. Dan and Nick. Dee Dee don't get along, okay? I believe everything started because Dee Dee found out that she was still communicating with Dan.
That's all I know.
So why do you think Nick did this?
I didn't say he did.
Sweetheart, I already know. I already talked to people, okay? And right now,
He said he hated my mom, but because my mom didn't want us to be together.
Again, I think she's switching stories. Okay, because from the very beginning, to the very ending of her being released from prison, okay, we have a lot of information to go over in between that time. And she's talked a lot in her interviews. Okay, so we know that her mom already found out she was seeing Dan, and she came to the house when Gypsy stole her pills and was getting high with Dan. And she was like 19 and he was like 35. Ew. So as any parent should, went to go get her daughter. She's about to say some things, but I really truly feel when she says they weren't getting along, she's not talking about Nick.
But I was getting on my mom's nerves. Her nerve medicine was running out.
I believe that's truth. Gypsy was getting on Dee Dee's nerves. She hit a button. There was an argument. Dee Dee found out she was still communicating with Dan because she might have even found him in the house. That black cap I saw the other day. I just seen a picture of the black cap on somebody's channel. I don't know whose channel it was. But Nick, I heard in another comment, Nick never even mentions that cap.
Out. Her patience was getting very thin for me. Sticking up for him every.
I don't think it's about sticking up for him, but it could be sticking up for Dan. But I think her patience was wearing thin. Hold on, go back. I just want to hear that again. I'm spiritually reading this.
Hated my mom, but
Sorry about that. My daughter called.
because my mom didn't want us to be together. But I was getting on my mom's nerves. Her nerve medicine was running out. Her patience was getting very thin for me. Sticking up for him every time.
Again, I just want to say, I feel like Dee Dee was angry that she was rebelling, still seeing Dan. That cigarette butt I saw, there was tire marks from a truck. Dan. Dee Dee probably caught them, and Gypsy kept sticking up for him because, she's in lust. And Dee Dee was pissed. She had every right to be. Now, did a fight break out? Because that's literally what my ITC session said. The last one I did. Hold on.
You do a good job.
And so she asked me to stay away from him.
So she asked me to stay away from him. So again, I don't feel like she's talking about Nick here. Because, remember, Nick wasn't even there yet. So who was there that Gypsy had to stay away from? Do I need to repeat that? Do you understand what she just said here? Now that we have all the key players in place. Try that again. I'm not even going to do it again. Do you understand what that meant? She wanted me to stay away from him. Nick was states away. But guess who was there? Dan.
I promised her I would.
Okay.
And then she just said, well, if you want to go, go. I guess.
And said, if you want to go, go. There was no need for a murder. And I don't believe this is the whole truth. Dee Dee did probably say, get the hell out of my house. And Gypsy was like, no, this is my house. And Dan's staying. Gypsy has been, at this point, contemplating her mother's death for a very long time. It was not the first time she admitted to trying to unalive her mother. Gypsy wanted to do this because she's a literal psychopath. And I'll show you those tendencies in a moment.
Out of love, she did that. Because she wanted me to be happy.
So why did this happen?
Because she wanted Gypsy to be happy. She said, go. Gypsy was not going to be happy unless Gypsy had Gypsy's house. It was about the house, the money in the house. She was going to make it look like she was kidnapped. She did. That was the first thing they thought, that she was kidnapped. She was going to turn up. See, she wasn't even supposed to go with Nick. Nick was supposed to leave. Why? Because Gypsy was going to stay there with Dan.
To your mom. What was the reason for it?
I don't know. All I know is that
Why didn't it hurt her?
See, he's planting seeds in her head. Why did Nick hurt her? Now she has to think of everything around it as if Nick did it. Meanwhile, Dan did it. That's why it takes her a little longer to respond.
Sweetheart, what was his reason behind this? And go back to that why.
Now, this is the part that I want you to pay attention to and what she says.
See why? He knows I love my mom. He knows that she's the most important thing.
He knows I love my mom. He knows she's the most important thing to me. That don't say abuse at all. The only person that showed any signs of abuse and being abusive is Gypsy, especially with her black and blue knuckles on both hands. Look at the smirk. Ew. I'm just waiting for her tongue to come out. Hold on.
So why do you think he did this to her?
He only said something to me that he said that it's us against the world and that he's gonna protect me no matter what. And
if you didn't plant seeds in him as if you were abused, there would have been no protection needed. Because you didn't need protection because you were abused. You needed your mother away from you so you could have the house.
that we were gonna get married and everything and nothing was.
Didn't in my ITC session literally say, like she was speaking to her mother, like, I'm engaged. I don't think she was engaged with Nick. I think Dan proposed to her even though he was married. I don't believe that it's Nick that she's quote unquote engaged with. I believe there was an engagement, but obviously it's a fake one, a stupid one, right? But I believe it was Dan.
Yes, office.
Good. Even your mom? So he took care of that, didn't he?
What do you mean? I don't think he would ever hurt her. I mean, he's very sweet. He's very kind.
So she just said how her mother was, the most best person in her life. And now Nick is so sweet and so kind. And again, the only trifling one I see is this thing of a being. I don't know what that is. That's not human. There's no empathy there. Ooh. I don't even want to look. Everybody was so nice to her. And she took advantage of everybody. Dan tried to get her to run away. Nick tried to get her to run away. Gypsy didn't want to run away. Gypsy wanted to stay in her house because she felt like it was the Grand Canyon.
I mean, he doesn't like police that much. He's kind of a radicalist, I guess you would call it. But,
Sweetheart,
He's a radicalist. Okay.
your mom loves you very much. So we're not going to go off on...
And she agrees. See, I knew I wasn't loved at a very, very, very young age. I knew it. I felt it. I lived it. And yeah, I was confused. I thought I loved my mom. I loved the version of my mom that I created in my head about her. That is not who she is in reality. So I see no signs of abuse. I see signs of being abusive.
Nick believes in what he doesn't believe. Okay? But we're going to have to start talking about why Nick did this to your mom. And you know why he did this. Don't let your friends down. Don't let those ones that still are there and got your back and still love you, don't let them down. Don't do that to them. Because every one of them still love you. Let's not do that to them. I don't want to do that to
I
them.
understand he never hurt my mom, but I'm not...
But why did Nick hurt her? Now's the time to be truthful, sweetheart. No more lies.
The only reason I could make up is because he wanted me to himself.
Okay.
How? Because he wanted me to himself, but your mom allegedly just said for you to go move with him. She's not talking about Nick. She was talking about Dan. I do believe she's telling Nick certain things to get Nick to play his part in the framing of the murder. But there was no plan with Nick at all. She completely set him up to take the fall. And the cop, I feel like, is setting him up to take the fall without truly investigating, could there be other possibilities?
Because my mom kept getting in the way of us being together.
Sure she did. She didn't like Nick. She didn't want her little baby girl to grow up. She wanted to keep her little baby girl young, didn't she?
How did she want to keep her little baby girl young if she just said, go, get out my house? No. Didi was never diagnosed with any of this BS that people are spreading about Didi. Didi was never diagnosed with none of that. There's no proof of it other than this being's words. And for this entire series that I have done, So far, on just the interrogation alone, we have caught her in at least, I would say about almost 100 lies. All she does is lie. Everything is very calculated, and we're going to get back to that part too.
She said that there was something dangerous about him. She had a way of reading people.
Okay.
And
Not Nick. It wasn't something dangerous about Nick. He come from a loving home. Both parents in the house. He come from a loving home where they knew he had special needs and they helped take care of his special needs and addressed his needs. She's not talking about Nick.
she said that he seems like the head in a closet type of person. The kind of
In the closet? That mean gay. That don't even make sense, Gypsy.
murders and kills and
Your mom's right.
Oh, like in the closet murderer. Oh, you mean like...
Jeffrey Dahmer kind of person.
I think your mom's right.
I think Dee Dee thought she was a Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, because she's the one taking all these weird pictures with knives and dressing up as SMN and however you say that. Dee Dee knew the signs and saw how creepy this chick is. It was like, go, get out my house. Get out. And Jesse was like, nah, you getting out. This is my house.
You know your mom's right. You hit her right on the nail on the head, sweetheart.
She drops her head and cries because this is exactly what she wants him to say. This is a cry of relief for her. Like, yes, he bought it. Somebody also mentioned, I saw this morning, that every time she cries like that, her hand pulls on her feeding tube in her stomach to make herself feel pain to cry.
You know your mom was right when she said that. You should know what? Okay. Then how should you have listened to her? Okay. Should you tried to stop him?
I should have broke up with him. They were never together. There was never a real relationship.
Was he too strong?
He was very strong.
Was it hard for you?
And now he was very strong. Gypsy, he ain't do shit to you. You led him to everything. He didn't put his hands on you. You're the one with bruises on your knuckles, not him. You're the one with bruises on your knuckles, not Nick. Nick didn't have blood all over him like a real crime scene would, Gypsy. Demonic.
You tried to stop him. It was very hard.
Oh, she just said she tried to stop him, but he was very strong. So was she in the room with her mother?
I think try to stop him, wasn't it? He's too strong with me. Yeah, I see that.
Are you freaking kidding me? I can't believe this detective. Yeah, I know he says he don't buy her shenanigans, but I feel like he messed this whole thing up and planted so many unnecessary seeds in this demonic being's head.
Look at me. Did you try to stop him? Okay. Hey, I'm proud of you. Look at me. I'm very proud of you for that. Okay, this is about a step in my direction. Okay. How did you try to stop?
She looked like that troll from Under the Bridge. Who that walking on my bridge?
Did you try to pull the knife away from him? Was that a yes? I can't guess with your nodding, so that's why I'm asking you. It looks like you're shaking your head up and down. Is that a yes?
Yes,
Okay. What did he do with the knife after all this was done?
She said she tried to pull the knife away from him. She literally gave him the knife. What do you mean, I tried to pull it away? He's like, yes, yes, I see this. Yes, yeah. Oh my God. What's wrong with these people?
I'm sorry that I lied to you from the beginning. I'll tell you the truth all now.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I love him so much, but maybe he can't help now. For his silent ways.
Maybe you can.
He killed my mom.
He killed your mom.
Yes, I know it.
I don't buy it. Now you'll tell. After 2 hours of, I don't know. Now you tried to take the knife from him, but we know you gave it to him. And you'll love him so much. No, you don't. You actually love Dan. Dan was the one you loved. Nick is the one you framed. You don't love him so much. We all know that. And now you'll tell the truth that he did it. Sure.
How did you do that?
He was supposed to come and visit me.
Okay.
And I thought we were gonna go outside and we're just gonna sit together for a while.
So Dan came over and they were outside sitting together for a while. And I bet you Dee Dee saw them kissing or doing some weird shit. And the fight broke out.
On the porch.
How did your mom?
And that is why she was like, we gotta do it now. You gotta get on the bus now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he came inside. And
Because if you go back to my playlist, I'm sorry, when I go over the text messages, literally, I could feel Dan in the whole situation. At 10:40 is when something happened, something went down. By this time, Nick was already on his way. So I think Gypsy was talking to him about doing it. I think they did it. But they have to have, and I don't think she thought of this on her own. I think Dan helped her plan this to frame him, to frame Nick. I think Dan helped her create this.
he started walking to my mom's room, and I told him that we need to go outside. We need to go outside.
What was your mom doing at that point? Was she asleep or
She was
awake?
asleep, and I
See? I think Dan came over at nighttime. She's not talking about Nick. I think Dan came over at nighttime. They're probably out there doing whatever they're doing, nasty people. And Dee Dee caught her. Let's see.
I got up to use the restroom, and at that point, he had put me in the bathroom, and he thought
It almost sounded like she said Dan put me in the bathroom.
to my mom's room, and I told him that we need to go outside. We need to go outside.
What was your mom doing at that point? Was she asleep or
She was
awake?
asleep, and I got up to use the restroom, and at that point, he had put me in the bathroom, and he had locked the door,
Okay.
and he went
I'm pretty sure she just said Dan put me in the bathroom.
to my mom's room, and I heard her cry. I heard him scream for my name.
You heard your mom crying. You heard your mom crying, and you heard your mom calling out your name.
But literally 20 minutes ago, you didn't know your mom was dead. Oh, with all your firework tears. Right? Listen, I'm a very empathic person. I have empathy for so many people and victims and souls. I have none for her. None. Zero. That should tell you a lot, especially for the people that know me.
She was screaming.
And,
Proud of you, sweetie.
and he opened the door, and he was covered in his hands and blood on it, and he had cut himself with his finger.
You know, if it was a
Now, I believe that Nick did cut himself on the finger, right? But she says that he demands her at one point. I don't remember where that was in this video, but I haven't seen this, but I might have seen it on TikTok or something where he demands her to clean the blood up off the floor. And guys, there was blood everywhere. She didn't clean nothing. And everything she cleaned, she left all the evidence there. The tissue, and she left all his DNA there because he did not do this. There was more blood from his one little cut on his finger than there was of splatter and you know, the spraying of being stabbed. There was none of that. There wasn't even blood on the mattress. Hello.
left hand or his right hand?
It was, gosh, I think this hand.
Okay.
And what happened was, he commanded me to clean him up.
Okay.
And
How did you do?
He demanded you to clean him up. Meanwhile, all the texts show that he's very passive. Oh, yes, honey. Oh, anything, dear. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He ain't demanding shit. Get out of here.
that?
I cleaned things up with wet wipes and,
With like what kind of wipes?
baby wipes.
Baby wipes? Okay. What did you do with those baby wipes?
I threw it
Like in the bathroom trash
in
or
the garbage.
in the garbage? Okay.
He says, you don't know how he is.
Okay.
You don't know how
You don't know how he is. Yes, darling. Anything for Gypsy. I don't want you to be upset. You're the only one that shows abusive tendencies. Only you. I'm gonna stop it here today. We are at, let's just say, 159. This is a very long series, but I feel it's very important that we expose this demonic being. Love you, babes.